Now, there are other things that need to be upgraded out there. Wiring, offering Wi-Fi out there would not be a bad thing, but those are baby steps in comparison. We can do those over time. But once we get the slide and the staircase addressed, we're getting the lazy river. I'm going to put that in front of you guys at the next council meeting. Then really that's it. It's just plastering and then trying to enhance the park. You know, our yearly buys are furniture, painting, and just trying to make the park clean and ready for the next season. But shading would be a huge benefit to that park, and we can do that. It's not going to cost us $1 million to do that, but we can do it for about probably $20,000. We can really make an impact in shading out there.
And I know this is a really I know it's just a conceptual drawing, but have you put much, like, what would you say in its finished product with a heated lagoon, beach feel, all the things? What did you come up with a ballpark price? I mean, I know that's extremely ballpark.
No, I didn't, because I knew that question was going to come up.
Yeah.
Ballpark, you're looking at, it all depends on the size of the lagoon, so I went with 1/4 of an acre. Realistically, with new slide, that's fixing the lazy river, fixing the slides. I put all that in there. You're looking
Yeah,
at
all the repairs, all the things you added to
about
that picture.
3.7 million.
Okay.
That's putting a volleyball, a golf course, and a lagoon also. But that's low end. That's no fluff. That's just getting the basic.
One of the things that I see possibly as something we may want to be interested in or look at a little deeper is the pool facility. I know you kind of mentioned using the lagoon as where we might have swim lessons and those kinds of things or whatever. But I wonder about the usage of a heated actual swimming pool, as it might bring in, colleges and stuff in the winter to come down and, and train and do things like that, and kind of open up a market there for additional revenue, but also kind of replace that hole that we have over on Margaret Street now that, that we've heard a lot about and some of us learned to swim at. So.
Oh, yeah. Now, I will say to Jeremy's question, so I put that number out there, but that's not looking at grants. So I did run through the system for each component. What the golf course does not bring a grant. There's no grant money for that. Volleyball brings grant money. The lagoon actually can bring grant money. And so this is very rough estimates, but you're looking at, on a great perfect day and we land everything we go for, there are 70% of those projects can be covered under grant money. So
Really?
that's what I was able to find. Now we have to apply for those. Some of them we may not qualify for, and some of them we will, and that's utilizing the fact that we have a military base in town. This is public recreation. There is money out there. Some of it's federal. It wouldn't happen overnight. Some of it's state funding. We can get it faster, but there is money out there. And so again, when I'm throwing this out there, I'm not just trying to throw something out there and say, oh yeah, it's expensive. If you pay for it, we'll have a better park. There are ways that we can get there, and the staff's ready to go to work for it. We just need to know what direction to go.
One big thing I wanted to say is, as the years go by, once we get this all new stuff, can we create enough money at the gate to be able to pay for what we're doing?
Yeah, so this goes back to the big question, though.
Yeah.
So, is the aquatic park something that's going to stand by itself, or is the aquatic park part of our recreation where the city's expected to put some money towards that? And that's just, so I don't know. I don't think we'll ever get to the aquatic park with maintenance costs and how the expensiveness of aquatics. I don't know if we'll 100% be able to cover itself. I think we'll get pretty close or we'll break even every year, and I think breaking even says it's a good year. But there's going to be times where an attraction falls apart, or you get a leak, or and then we have to fix it. But if your mindset is it's a recreational park for our citizens, that's an easier pill to swallow than if you think we shouldn't be funding anything other than water, sewer, and other municipality stuff like safety.
My personal opinion, and I'm not speaking for anyone else by any means, I do feel the aquatic center does fall under our recreation. I would like to see it come closer to breaking even, but I don't think that we have discussed the aquatic center a couple times since I've been up here, and I don't think I've had more people come talk to me after a meeting, thanking the comments that, we should try to maintain the aquatic center. You did touch on a little bit that the PSA had the park, and we inherited a lot of deferred maintenance, and that's a lot of the big portion of spending we've been doing. But just looking at the lazy river, that lazy river, it's been there 25 years, and this is the first time we've spent this type of money on it to do a complete overhaul to get it going, and that seems pretty reasonable for a 25-year attraction. Yeah, I know it has other costs in between there, but to get it back to right, that doesn't seem like an unreasonable cost. I would like to see what we do. We have new staff that you pointed out, and and we do have a staff member now that's business-minded of the park. I did want to hear suggestions on what we can do with the park as it sits to try to make it a little more profitable. And, you just can't always hike the rate to where you get people not wanting to come. Right. But when we do look at that, we do have to take, our citizens of St. Mary's that pay for that recreation to make sure it's reasonable to them especially. I know that staffing is an issue with your part-time staff, and it gets really hard after school starts back up. But, you kind of mentioned already, I think that we could probably start a month and a half earlier on weekends at least, and those are usually our busiest times, and get more ticket revenue and more, concessions, more, souvenirs, whatever we sell in the park, but get those open extra days. And I think we'd have more success before the season versus after, because you do have a staffing issue, especially after when school gets started, because those kids may be going to college, or they might just realize, or their parents tell them school's more important, because it is. But if you make that a requirement to start a little bit sooner in the year, I think you'd still get enough staffing for those weekends. We've talked about having an adult swim night, or possibly putting up a projector screen on Saturday nights, and after the park closes, regular hours, open back up on Saturday evenings for a family movie night, where you charge a separate admission to the park and have a movie night. The gift cards are big, and I know we've got sponsorships out there, but possibly reaching out for higher sponsorship levels, where that includes maybe Friday nights after the park closes, where those sponsors, we've offered them a weekend to have a company outing, to get a larger sponsorship. Just different things that we can do to try to create more revenue within the park. So the maintenance we have now in front of us, we're going to have to take care of that. And then if we decide to move in a different, direction, we don't have to make that decision now, because I don't think we're ready to make anything like that. Right. Because if anybody was going to buy it, and they do their own survey and inspection of the property, they're going to want this stuff fixed probably before they take over anyways. And then as far as the slides, that would be a reasonable first expansion, but I don't think we're ready to make that decision to see if we can actually make a dent in the deficit that it does have in this next year coming. If we can make some ideas to try to make it a little more profitable or come closer to breaking even. If we can make strides in a year's time, we might want to look at investing in that second slide just to see what that next attraction does.
Correct.
But that's something for next year.
It is. It's just, I just want to put that out there. Whether we do a second slide or not, that attraction does need to be addressed by next year. We can't, otherwise we'll have to close it.
All right. I'm
Charlie,
sorry, because of the time, we have another meeting that starts at 11, at 45 till. Just real quick.
Yeah, I wanted to say I agree with pretty much everything that Chad was saying. And if we can just be revenue neutral in this endeavor, it'll be a great thing, because we're way below the bar when it comes to recreation for our city.
Yes.
We are.
Agreed.
Okay.
Agreed.
All right, so thank you, Mr. Williams, and like I said, this is really just the first opportunity to, like I say, we have staff, we want to get some ideas out there, get some ideas from them, and start this dialogue so that, we can determine where we're headed, and this was the first step tonight, and I apologize that we didn't have time to have comments from the public, but if you stick around, you'll be able to say something at council meeting if you,
Well,
if
thank
you
y'all
want
for your
to.
time,
So
too.
Thank you.
we're going to close this hearing for this workshop, and we'll be back in just a couple minutes when Ms. Walker Reed resets.
Thank you. Wow, you condensed it. I thought it was massive.
That is the condensed version. Come
Right,
to my
that's what I
office.
thought.
Come to my office and see.
You have a bigger one?
I have the.
I want to see the big mammoth